So what a difference a week makes, huh? Hi, this is Andrew with the Andrew Smith team at eXp Realty. And, you know, just last week we did our monthly market report, all about the latest numbers in the real estate market and what had been going on through the first 3 months, 2.5 months of the year. And wow, look where we are this week. So with that in mind, I actually thought I'd go in a little bit of a different direction with the video this week. And it's not about real estate. It's just about what's going on and us as people and what we can all do and what, I think we need to do to kind of move through this. And, for so many of us, our lives have been turned upside down. And there's a lot of uncertainty. I mean, the stock market has, it tanked. Government bailouts are coming in. And what we saw as normal just a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, suddenly isn't our normal anymore. This will pass. All things have, but it is going to be one of those events, times in history that we'll look back and we'll remember. Everyone remembers where they were on 9/11. Everyone, as you go back in history, there's different times when they remember where they were, and this is pretty unprecedented. And what is going to happen? I don't know. I know it will pass. I know together we will get through it, and it's going to impact a lot of different things. Maybe not as much as we initially expect, and I only say that certainly not to play this down or downplay this in any way, shape, or form, but there's always a knee-jerk reaction in anything where the shock of what's happening sets in, followed by a little bit of a pullback, and people take a breath and they pause for a minute, and then they figure out what they're going to do moving forward. But with that in mind, there's just a couple of thoughts I figured I'd share a little bit with you today about the potential good that can come from this, because I do know that in all circumstances, a lot of good quite often comes out of what is initially really bad. And the one thing I have noticed myself in the last week as I've been out and about a little bit and just, on Facebook pages and things that I've seen, is the divisiveness has seemed to go away. We together had become so divisive, so caught up in everything that was going on. No one could really express an opinion without, it wasn't just someone disagreeing, but openly being attacked because they didn't have the same view. And it's almost like we've all been given a massive time out here and said, this isn't the way we're supposed to act. And in that, I've seen a lot of people, a lot of communities coming together, neighborhoods, doing generally the right thing for people. I've seen, even with massive lines in stores, I've seen far and away the overwhelming sense of people helping people. Yes, there has been the exception to the rule, as there always is, but for the most part, I've seen people being kind, people being interested, not being as mad. In order to get through this, we have to come together. We're seeing it at all levels. The divisiveness, even all the way up in our government, isn't there right now, because I think we all realize when it comes down to it, all of that stuff isn't quite as important as we thought it was, or we act as though it was, and that by and large, we're all human. We're all in this together, no matter what our beliefs politically or on this or that or anything are. We're still all just people. And we need to do what we can to help each other out. I do know with the quarantine and with everything that's been going on, or the restrictions on movement, I should say, I've noticed families out together. I walk my dog every day, and I don't always see that many people. But lately, the past few days, I've seen families on a bike ride, families on a walk. I've seen, kids from across the street throwing the football, doing things together. We had a game night last night. We've watched a couple movies together and things like that. So there's definitely a sense of community there, which I hope continues as we move through this. As mentioned, the only thing I will say from a real estate perspective is I've had a couple of people reach out and say, do you think this is like what we experienced in 2008? Do you think we're going to have a recession like that? Specific to housing, no, I don't. And I'm not going to go into why here. But in my blog post this week, I do go into why. There's just the underlying circumstances are very different than they were back in 2007, 2008, 2009. But this week, it's just a matter of, we're all in uncharted territory. A post I saw come out the other day was fantastic. It said, if you're in a boat that's sinking, it's not the water around you that's causing the problem. It's the water you're allowing into the boat. And the reason I love that is, what are we filling our minds with? What are we going to do in this time to be constructive? We can watch news 24/7 and it'll poison us. It'll just flat out poison us. I'm not saying that we can't be informed, but you can grab the quick headlines and then move on. But this is a great time to, what are those things that you haven't had time to do? Maybe catch up on a book, maybe catch up on some continuing education. Find some positive motivational YouTube videos and watch those. Get back into a mindset and figure out ways that you can help and be part of a solution, and instead of all of us focusing so inward as we seem to. So anyway, but I don't want to sound like I'm on a soapbox here. Just wanted to share a few thoughts. So we will all get through this together. If anyone needs anything, or if I can help in any way, please don't hesitate to reach out, and I'm more than happy to do what I can. And in the meantime, be good neighbors, be good in your community, be good humans, and we will move on together.